Hello guys, my name is Mikey, I'm a big fan of Dune, and we are going to check out the trailer. Hi guys.
There's something happening to me. There's something awakening in my mind. I can't control it.
What did you see?
There's a crusade coming.
Do you often dream things that happen just as you dreamed them?
Yes.
The test is simple. Remove your hand from the box, and you die.
What's in the box?
Pain. You inherit too much power. You have proven you can rule yourself. Now you must learn to rule others. Something none of your ancestors learned.
My father rules an entire planet.
He's losing it.
He's getting a richer one.
He'll lose that one too. Arrakis is a death trap.
Kill them. This is an extermination. They're picking my family off one by one.
Let's fight like demons.
An animal caught in a trap will gnaw off its own leg to escape. What will you do?
I know you.
One day, the legend will be born. All of civilization depends on it.
The future. I can see it. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer.
My Lord Duke.
Where the fear is gone, only I will remain.
Go, go, go!
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, guys! Okay, there's a whole world of stuff we've got to fucking unpack. Do you want to know the initial thing that I'm just thinking right now, just from that, is I was not expecting this trailer, because older Denis Villeneuve and co do a lot of very atmospheric things. I wasn't imagining an actual song, do you know what I mean? An actual track song that kicks in here.
I know you.
One day, the legend will be born. All of civilization depends on it.
Do you know what? That audio track is a lot more feel good, a lot more pick me up than I would ever have expected. Not a bad looking movie. Would you look at the size of that sandworm? We need to talk about this stuff. How you guys getting on in chat? That sandworm shot's giving me goosebumps. Yeah, it's a mix. Like, I kind of did and didn't. There's some bits that I did and didn't like in this already. Now, don't get me wrong, I fucking love it already, and it looks fucking amazing. Let's see what's gonna go on. Mikey, do you have a massive cup of tea? Of course I do. So, guys, let's have a little talk about the breakdown of this trailer. Easiest thing to do is probably just to go in order. Well, let's not worry about Warner Brothers. We've got some obvious stuff, very similarly interpreted stuff to the David Lynch version of Dune, and obviously the fact that this is tracking quite closely. From all the bits that I've just heard, there's a lot of very close tracking to the books. Mikey, so I think that's a Pink Floyd cover. Yeah. Somebody said that might be a nod to the cancelled version of Dune that was going on before Lynch's, that was supposed to have Pink Floyd as a soundtrack. Oh, really? Man, yeah. Jodorowsky's Dune. Jodorowsky went on tour and actually gave like a seminar about that entire experience, and he had loads and loads of footage and slides from the Dune book. One of the best things to come out of a failed Dune is that Jodorowsky owns this tome of a book that contains like the entire never made story, and it is wild. It's full of like concept sketches and craziness, and they were gonna have like Mick Jagger or something playing a role in there. Crazy. Rango's keeping it. Have you ever seen or read anything Dune related before? I never have, but BR20 Battle Royale, Blade Runner 2048, got it. I'm very interested in seeing Locke Lamora, 110%. I've been a bit of a Villeneuve fan for a while, but never really thought much about it until Blade Runner came out, and I was like, once I'd heard that was the guy that was making this, I was just like, I cannot think of a better director. Do you want to know what would have made me genuinely upset? If Christopher Nolan was attached to this. Because if Christopher... Hey, dude, if Christopher... Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want to bitch, but basically, I think cinema and Hollywood in general has bred us to become the worst audience in the last 30, 40 years of film. Seriously, like... we've just come to expect a different kind of movie, and it's made us an unattentive and shit audience. So, like, if Christopher Nolan was making Dune... Bwah! Dune coming soon. Bwah! If Christopher Nolan is attached, then I bet shitloads of people, because I'm secretly terrified that nobody's going to see this film, basically. If Christopher Nolan is attached, shitloads of people would come to see it, and it would be a terrible, terrible adaptation. Bitch girl, bitch. Nolan is fucking boring. Hot take. Oh, we've got an entire conversation there. However, Denis Villeneuve is not scared. Toby, yo, thanks for the sub, dude. I'm gonna sort you 5 reps in a minute. Somebody remind me. Let me open the notepad. Toby, welcome to Dune discussion. So Denis Villeneuve is attached to this cheeky bad boy. Oh my god, should we put the Dune soundtrack, the David Lynch one, on in the background whilst we're talking? So Denis Villeneuve, as you've seen from Blade Runner 2049, great example, is not scared to do one of the most important things, and that is wait. He can have like 15 seconds of pause before the next line of dialogue comes out of a character, because he's not terrified that people are going to start losing attention. Now the problem is that people do start losing attention, so nobody watches the movies. Let me just find Dune soundtrack, the original motion picture. Now the original motion picture had some great stuff, but let's just put it on really, really quietly. Okay guys, this will guarantee that YouTube will probably block this video worldwide. I might have made a terrible mistake. I'm going to leave it on super low so that you can barely understand that anything's happening in the background. I don't know how Villeneuve got this project when Blade Runner only made like £3. Yeah, that's the thing. I think he was attached to it a long time before. And it was so critically acclaimed as well. Do you mind if we watch the trailer again? Oh, we will watch it again. Let's have a little run through and talk about some bits, and then I'll play the whole thing without actually interrupting it once more. We will do a second run. Do you plan on uploading any from YouTube near future? Yeah, Ace of Spades. I was supposed to do a DWM soon, but I'm pushing it back to tomorrow if I get it done, because I ended up sleeping a lot today. So we've got Kiani looking out over the rocks of the Farfalluches. Blue within blue eyes. Obviously, you breathe in through your mouth and out through your nose when you're wearing the still suit, so that's fine. He's obviously dreaming of her, just like in the books, because Paul Muad'Dib has prescient dreams. This, I'm assuming, is the Harkonnen Imperial attack on his forces in Arrakis. Poor guy.
You often dream things that happen.
And this isn't set on Dune at all. This is obviously back on Caladan in the very, very beginning. Look at him standing at a military attention. And this is obviously then Reverend Mother Gaius Helen Moahim, a witch-like creature in spider silk. So here's our test.
Just as you dreamed them.
Here's our Atreides eagle and Atreides green. I'm going to be honest, he looks a little bit derpy weird here. But can you see that twitching on his face? Now, I might be just trying to validate something here, but in the books, when Paul first stalks the Gaius Helen Moahim, she puts like an audio anchor in him. She puts like a kind of psychological needle in him as an anchoring point, because this is kind of how the Bene Gesserit operate. They're masters of people, politics, and psychology, as well as awareness and self-control, and, you know, cellular destiny. So I just wonder if Paul is kind of like a little bit fucked in a trance-like state or anything like that during this conversation. I love their interpretation of the suits. Yeah, he legit looks derpy, but in the books he is actually. So yeah, here he's now. Don't get me, Timothy Chalamet. Yeah. He's a pretty young man, and Paul is described as a young boy with a dancer's body, who's a little bit small for his age. Dune connoisseur, Lays. Oh, it's my secret passion. I fucking love Dune, man. I love they use that needle scene as an anchor for the trailer. Oh! Yeah. So let's look at this. Let's talk about this.
Yes.
I don't actually. This comes later. Lovely.
The test is simple.
The box. So, this is the test that weeds out humans from animals. An animal will bite off its own leg, so like she's saying, to avoid a trap, whereas a human will avoid the trap and then return to kill the hunter to further the propagation of the human species. And she's basically trying to see if Paul has the self-control to not act on his instinct and instead act purely on his rational understanding of the situation against such incredible pain. It separates humans. Are you suggesting that the Duke's son is an animal? No, Paul. I am suggesting you may be human. So this box is pain by nerve induction. It's one of the tests of the Bene Gesserit sisterhood, and they never really test this on a guy. So she's actually being really cruel to him. What's in the box? I remember this scene. I've seen this before. Yeah. I hold at your neck the gom of Jabbar. This one kills only animals.
Remove your hand from the box. And you die.
What's in the box?
Yo, Fenrir.
Pain.
WTF, did I just come into...
Fenrir, Dune
You
trailer.
inherit too much power.
So this is still on Caladan. Obviously, this is where the Atreides forces are probably starting to get ready to go take Arrakis, because there's like this uneven trilogy of power in the known universe. Because this is the year 10,191. We are far in the future. It's not just galactic enterprise. There's a known universe. We haven't occupied the entire universe. The known universe relates to the amount of galaxies and occupied planets that humanity is aware of, because there's galaxies and planets occupied beyond that has a different kind of evil that you don't even go near in the books until a billion books later. I like this outfit. I like his vibe. I'm always a little bit concerned with Villeneuve for slightly undersaturated stuff, where in like the David Lynch version, we'll look at some still images in a minute. Everything's really, really rich. Yeah. Our sub reps have just gone up to 10. Thank you very much. We'll talk about that after we do this little trailer review. Let's talk about shields. So, the return of Jafar. Dodge. That's a whole... Mate, let's talk about the Mega Drive 2 and how I saved up for it and had to sell my Game Gear and got Aladdin. Okay. Having an understated stuff is the latest trend in action movies. I know it is, I know. And I'm down. Whoa, we're getting a massive raid off Ms. KTB by the looks of it. Ms. KTB, Raiders, it's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. We are just currently... Oh, there we go. It's just kicked in. Hi.
He's studying us.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in, Raiders. Ms. KTB, that is a massive raid. Lovely to see you. I'm going to address you lovely people properly. Hi, my name is Mikey, but we're right in the middle of just recording a cheeky little review of the Dune trailer. I hope you guys are excited for Dune. I'm going to talk my way through some of this content, and we will play the trailer again one more time in just a moment. But don't think I don't love you, Raiders. It's lovely to see you. So, in the far, far future, we've got shields. And these shields are designed to stop anything that moves too quickly and allow only things that move slowly. And it basically means, because of this defensive technology that all of the Grand Houses use, projectile weaponry is phased out. So the idea of slug launchers, or guns as we know them, has given way to lasers, but nobody uses lasers anymore because they interact weirdly with shields and create near atomic reactions. So everybody is trained, in the books at least, in a very particular fighting style. The slow blade penetrates the shield, where you learn to fight quick with your knife, but you learn to kill slowly so that your blade slips past the reactive shields. So obviously this is Gurney Halleck's training scene with Dune.
Proven you can
With
rule
Paul?
yourself. Now you must learn to rule others. Something none of your ancestors learned.
So we've got Oscar Isaacs playing Duke Leto Atreides for first, and by the looks of things, there's a little bit of comment on the heritage because his father was known as the Old Duke, and many people served under him, and the Old Duke was a hard and nasty motherfucking guy. Like, he was actually a real fucker of a human being. He got killed by a bull that he was hunting. And there's this whole thing about how, like, Duke Leto Atreides, he exudes charm and he draws people to him. He's got charisma, but he essentially kind of uses Jessica, his concubine, because she clearly loves him, and he knew the moment he ended up getting her as a concubine that she would fall for him. And he's how to put it, like, we love the Old Duke, but he's also quite manipulative if you kind of just read through the early parts of the book. Oh mate, it's so good. Glad I've tuned in. Kites, I love to have you. Miss Katie B, you're awesome. I'm so glad to hear it. Miss Katie B, I will properly address you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, man.
My father rules an entire planet.
He's losing it.
So there's Lady Jessica, of course.
He'll lose that one too.
So you'll notice all the Atreides are in their grey armor. I've noticed a lot of grey. I'm actually mildly worried of Transformers, whichever the last Transformers movie was before the Bumblebee one. I'm always a bit concerned if there's too much grey on grey, because then you've got no idea what's going on. Yeah, boy! So, obviously, we got Duncan Idaho over here. He's sent ahead before the Atreides family came in, because it was his job to make contact with the Fremen, the people who live cached amongst the rocks, to see of possible alliances. Because the Atreides are obviously... I don't want to just tell you the story of Dune, but the Atreides are taking over from the evil Harkonnens, but it is essentially like a not very good situation after all.
Arrakis is a death trap.
And then we've got Stilgar, played by that guy I did an amazing impression of last night. And then they eat only rat. See? So...
Death trap.
Oh, look at him. Look at her. Look at her. So here we've got the Beast Raban. This is the guy who is sent to... I think he might have been in charge of Dune before... the Baron had to leave, but he's the guy who's going to be sent back in to squeeze them for all they have before Fade, lovely Fade, comes in and takes over, but we'll come back to him. Bardem is still guys, so dope. Yeah, I'm so down for it. Feels a bit Star Warsy, far better than that, Crimson Vixen. Do you want to we can compare this shit to the fucking last Rise of Awakening of Skywalker. Mate, don't even... Anyway, the Baron's elder nephew. Okay, so here's Batista, looking like a creepy motherfucker. Is it him who came out of that oil?
Kill him.
Oh, so that's the Baron. So this is Baron Vladimir Harkonnen. He doesn't quite have that deep basso rumble, which I kind of expect from him. But obviously, is that Stellan Skarsgård? I can't quite remember. Do not judge for Way of a Jedi. We'll come back to that. Mikey, I feel that this new Dune film lacks visual interest and cultural representation in their design and architecture. Sherry and M, this already has way more brown people playing the Fremen than the other stuff did. Kiani's actually an actress of colour. In the original, everybody was white. So, and bear in mind that this book was basically written as the West going into Afghanistan. Like, it wasn't, but it kind of was. So, yeah, I do expect people of colour to be in here. But yeah, we were just saying a minute ago, there's quite a lot of grey going on. He looks like the Baron from the books. How would the science part of a book translate into the movie, though? Yeah, like, how big is the Baron? Is he covered in Spencer Fields for moving his carriage? We'll see. We'll see.
Kill him. This is an extermination.
I don't know who this guy is, but I trust him already. He's probably fine. He's probably like a really good guy that we can all kind of depend on. And this is got to be the Imperial Sardaukar, because it's the Imperial Sardaukar forces that float down on Suspenser fields when they're doing the attack on DUNE, or at least when they're attacking the Fremen, because Duncan Idaho and his crew end up with a different lot as well. His water will join our tribe. So again, we've got like the grey of the Atreides and then the mildly beige of the Sardaukar. What David Lynch had in his version was clearly visually opposing forces. Whereas, you know, this can all get a bit lost in the distance. That is a concern. Why does Paul need a swordsmith and a weaponsmith? No, he's got a sword. He has a sword dancer. So Duncan Idaho is the sword dancer, and Gurney Halleck is for weapons master. Oh my god, don't you know anything about anyway? Wake up, mate.
They're picking my family off one by one.
Let's fight like demons.
An animal caught in a trap will gnaw off its own leg to escape. What will you do?
I know you.
So, one sec. The ornithopters are obviously based on dragonflies for this particular one, which is pretty cool. Always working on different ornithopter designs, because in this far future, thou shalt not make a machine in the thou shalt not make a machine in the image of a mind. As in, you can't have AI in the future. You can't have over complex technical actions. So if you imagine, even for something like the current, like, you know, jet engines that are used in the military and stuff, most combat jet planes these days don't naturally fly. This is what I heard. They're so unaerodynamic because they have to do different things instead, that it's only because they have computer systems in them that do thousands of micro adjustments at any one moment that they're able to stay in the air. Tell me if I'm wrong, if you know what you're talking about, because this is just what I heard. You can't have this. Because there was a bit of an AI disaster between now and the far, far future. So ornithopters are much more like mechanically minded, and the key is it's forced different schools of human beings to over hyper specialize. So you've got like the mentats, which become human thinking machines, and obviously there's the Bene Gesserit, which went down the opposite axis. Shit gets nerfed, basically. Word. Scott, yeah. Do you know what? That's it. Ceres has put it perfectly. Before this kind of far future that we experience here, there was a bit of a Skynetting. We had a bit of a Skynet problem. Do you think you have a Skynet problem? Anyway, Lady Jessica is the ultimate warrior. Oh, and this is another thing. So obviously, I guess everybody probably knows it from the books. Lady Jessica carries DUNE. She, just like, look at the Star Wars franchise. Tell me what was the best thing. Give me one character, one actor, one moment, anything you want. Out of the last 3 Star Wars movies, what was the most solid character, person, or actor? Who do you think carried the Star Wars franchise? Legit. She carries every scene that she's in. Absolutely. Flynn. Fuck off, Wolf Canis. It's Kylo Ren. It's Adam Driver. Mez has got it right. Adam Driver. If you look back on the last 3 Star Wars movies, Kylo Ren carries all of it. He remains to be the only character you're really invested in. He remains to be the only heart. In DUNE, Lady Jessica, the B character to Paul, so to speak, is in fact the prime reason anything happens. She never stops working, never stops thinking, never stops having to take this 1 in 10 choice of the right path to do. When they interact with the Fremen, when they're surviving in the desert, sure, Paul pulls his part, but Lady Jessica is the one that keeps them alive, and she's the one that manipulates embedded prophecy. So this is what's so mental. The Bene Gesserit go around. These Fremen are just the people in the desert. Some point hundreds of years ago, some Bene Gesserit, like a traveling Jesuit priest, probably landed there and basically embeds in the culture a prophecy about a singular individual. And the Bene Gesserit go around doing this shit everywhere, embedding prophecy into people's own cultural history, so that hundreds of years later, another random Bene Gesserit might need help, and there'll be certain key aspects she can draw on from the local populace so that she has value to them. It is mental. They never stop thinking. Genuine comment, a huge amount of greys make the aesthetically pleasing stuff like the sunsets pop out more by comparison. So this is a thing. When they first land on Arrakis, Jessica knows that they desperately have to learn to see the beauty. If they don't learn to live in this planet, not just survive this planet, they will never succeed. So yeah, maybe it's to help us kind of understand that encompassing thing. Not sure if it's about the tuning of the film, but it might work quite well. Because Alistair, how you doing, man? Thank you for the bitties. Let's continue. Long live Duke Leto! Okay, so this film loses points because right here, Gurney Halleck is not holding a puppy. Allow me to, come on. So, I'm going to give you a test alert. So, I'm sorry if it's a bit loud, but I'll show you my raid alert, which is literally this exact scene, this exact moment, but from another film. And you'll notice that Gurney Halleck is holding a puppy, like all good people do, a little pug. Where's my test raid?
He must be a Fremen.
Can you see that down there?
Them. He's studying us.
Long live Duke Leto! But obviously that's what we got here this time. Oh, maybe that's the Baron. Yeah.
One day, the legend...
Okay. Here's another thing that I have a slight problem with. Just as somebody who appreciates swords, because I went through that phase as a kid and studied like, you know, Kenjutsu and Iaido and stuff. So I know a tiny bit about what is a good sword and what isn't, and what is good steel and what isn't. And if you've ever been on these websites that sell super cheap ninja sword kits, where it's one piece of black metal, and they're just like, high quality ninja sword, but it's only $5. And it's like, you know, one end's got a tiny bit of like bungee cord wrapped around it, and the other end has just this flat edge where they've just like taken it against some machining equipment, and you know that it's cheap shit. No, I'm awfully sorry. That's what I'm looking at right here. That's my only concern. But, you know, Duncan knows what he's doing. He'll be fine.
The legend will be...
Oh! Now, really, really quickly. This is a Chris knife because it's got the milky pearlescent glow. Chris knives are made from the teeth of sandworms. We're going to get to sandworms. Yeah, cheap doesn't mean it's good. I know, right? I know. Okay, let's go.
Will be born.
Okay. So this is really interesting. So obviously this is all first time. I've never seen a sandworm quite expressed like this. The teeth of this sandworm are like super long spines. And I'm assuming the whole point, especially with the rumbling of the sand, is that they want it to look like an iris, which is obviously a bit of a Villeneuve throwback, which he took from 2049, which obviously took the iris motif from the original Blade Runner. So that's super interesting. I'm not sure how into this worm design I am, though. Let's take a look. Like a whale's mouth. Absolutely. May your blade chip and shatter. Shouts Jamis. Shouted Jamis at the beginning of the attack. Yeah. You know. Okay, let's have a look.
All of civilization depends on...
So, who's this? Blue within blue eyes. So obviously she's of Arrakis. Is she a Fremen? Now, for a minute I thought she might be... Oh, talk about Jamis. I thought for a minute she might be Jamis's wife or Jamis's widow. Spoiler alert. But look at all the people standing to attention. This is not inside of a Fremen siege. So what if she might be, because the Fremen have their own Reverend Mother. I wonder if this is her, the one who comes before Jessica, or this might be the wife of Count Casimir Fenring, who's also or who's playing Count Casimir Fenring. Guys, if you love Paul Atreides, you'll fucking go nuts for Fenring. Hey Spud Ducky, how you doing? Okay. Hint, she was a dude in the book. She was a dude in the book. Okay. I'm going to say that this lady is Countess Vesemir Wait, have I? Hazimir Fenrig. Okay, am I right? Okay, we'll see. Okay, I'm excited.
Depends on it.
Okay, so these are the Baron's forces. Look how fucking pale and disgusting they are. I love it. They look like fucking vampires.
The future. I can see it.
Oh, and by the way, unfortunately, right here, see that bloodied handprint? That is probably the Shadout Mapes. And this is probably the Duke just before he's fucked.
I can see it.
Oh, so is this Jamis right here?
I must not fear. Not fear.
One sec. Fuck me dead. Come on, mate. Seriously. Just, what is it about women with stairs and raggedy hair? I used to, anyway, this girl I saw at uni, mate, when she came out of the shower and it all just went wavy. Fuck, anyway. Shadout Mapes was one of my, I am the Shadout Mapes. The housekeeper. Now, if I'd moved into a new planet and I was worried about people wanting to assassinate me, I would definitely be like, has anybody double checked with Shadout Mapes? She's a bit creepy. There is a debt between us. Hey, Gonzalester, thanks for the bitties, man. Thank you. Guys, I'm going to address all you guys. By the way, don't think I've forgotten that a load of you awesome people came in to visit from KTB's side, but we're almost there.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer.
My Lord Duke.
Where the fear is gone.
Now, this is interesting. This is very accurate to the books, as in, they escape the initial Harkonnen attack, and they actually meet up with Duncan Idaho again before trying to meet up with smugglers and doing some other stuff. For a split second, I thought they were replacing Gurney Halleck's later involvement of meeting, spoiler alert, with Duncan Idaho into the role, but they haven't. They've kept it book tight.
Gone. Only I will remain.
This is just after Paul's fight with Jameis. Paul has, if I had to guess, Paul has just killed Jameis. Italian Omen, thank you very much for the sub. That puts me up to 15 reps. Thanks for using your Prime here. I'm going to address all you people in just a moment. Welcome in. You can access my subs only Discord, download my art for free. Thank you. Paul has just killed Jameis. That's the first life he's ever taken. He's stunned. He's walking away. Other Fremen are touching him and patting him. And Lady Jessica, who is worth her weight in gold-crusted diamonds, does a fucking brilliant thing. She slaps her son down in front of everyone. Oh, it's so necessary. Oh my god. Because the whole point of Dune is multi-scaled, but the core of it is to fucking think for yourself and be critical and fucking guide your own life and be aware of the elements that affect the fucking growth of other people, what kind of things people are exposed to and how they react to it. Dune has it all. Lady Jessica is goals. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Go!
Okay. I love the sense of scale. I'm a little bit worried. Now, this might just be a trailer thing, but it feels like that they rendered all of this up, and then separate to the rendering in post, a 2D editor's come in and he's artificially lightened this. There's something about how this is lit that doesn't feel right to me. But in terms of the actual thing, a fucking incredibly large worm that's nothing but rows upon rows of teeth that disappear into nothingness, well, that's pretty fucking horrific. Although really, you want to see a little fire burning in the back, because worms burn hot on the inside. Yeah, the scale, yeah, this forbidden anal. So as you can see from the sweep, you can go in, but you won't pull out. So the only way you can deal with this is you have to go in hard, ejaculate on your first pump, and hope that you wither down enough that you can kind of wiggle free without catching onto anything. But it's like trying to pull a fucking washing up glove out of it. Let's not talk about it. So, yeah, this feels off. For this scale here that we just had, this image feels a little bit off. So I'm just hoping this is for the trailer and maybe this isn't going to quite make it past. Or maybe it's like an early cut or an edit. But it just feels a little bit too much like a composition. Do you know what I mean? Also, this font type is a little bit legacy to one of the earlier printings of the DUNE books, which have DUNE in a particular logo style. I don't think I've got that copy to hand because I have many copies of DUNE. Oh, okay. It's not a million miles off. It's not a million miles simple. So there's a lot of versions of DUNE that got released with this, you know, this kind of like curvy writing. But there's a lot of the earlier 70s prints that tried to go for stuff like this. This is, of course, the Great DUNE trilogy. This is the only Bible you need. Chuck out your King James right now. So, guys, what do you think? We are going to watch this trailer again. Let's do one more run through in its entirety. How big is that book? Oh, don't worry. That's the first 3 DUNE books altogether. DUNE, if you've not read DUNE, I recommend it. It's not that big. It's not that big. Don't worry. And I'm not going to force all of the DUNE storyline onto everyone. You only really need to read the first DUNE book to be cool in my book. So, guys, should we put this on one more time? I don't read Love Ruby. Don't worry. Watch the David Lynch adaptation. Watch this film. Go to your cinema. Support this movie. Can we have a moment of silence for Duncan, Idaho? Spoiler alert. Okay. So, guys, let's run this through one more time.
There's something happening to me. There's something awakening in my mind. I can't control it.
What did you see?
There's a crusade coming.
Do you often dream things that happen just as you dreamed them?
Yes.
The test is simple. Remove your hand from the box, and you die.
What's in the box?
Pain. You inherit too much power. You have proven you can rule yourself. Now you must learn to rule others. Something none of your ancestors learned.
My father rules an entire planet.
He's losing it.
He's getting a richer one.
He'll lose that one too. Arrakis is a death trap.
Kill them. This is an extermination. They're picking my family off one by one.
Let's fight like demons.
An animal caught in a trap will gnaw off its own leg to escape. What will you do?
I know you.
One day, the legend will be born. All of civilization depends on it.
The future. I can see it. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer.
My Lord Duke.
Where the fear is gone, only I will remain.
Go, go, go!
Again, just a couple. Oh, fucking! I want this man on my team. I want this man to be my sword dancer. To fucking look at my back. Here we have what I'm assuming is Furthir Hawat over here. Here's my boy Furthir. This guy is the master of assassins and their mentat. I notice he's been given 0 time at all in the trailer, so I wonder if they're going to talk about the School of Mentats that much. And also, this is really suffering from... it's obviously... So the whole point is that you have to travel by night in the desert, obviously. Paul and Jessica are crossing their way down to the Sietches. So this really suffers from the whole... We're kind of filming it in the dark, but we're using post-production to up the levels. Because it really looks artificially re-leveled. Look at it. Where's his face? Fat. Can you see how like... now, obviously, this is a trailer that uses compression. And the way that YouTube... So this is why I'm hoping this is a trailer thing. And I'm really sorry, because I'm just going to talk about stuff I know you guys already know. But in a really quick nutshell, when you upload a video to YouTube, the way that YouTube manages the file size and is able to, as quickly as possible, send it as an image, is it uses compression. And the most common way that YouTube tends to do compression is it compresses all the blacks. Sorry, my windows are open and moths are about to fly in, so I'm going to sort that in a minute. So that you try to keep all of the lighter details or any area where the program thinks that your focus of attention is, and then it kills all of the details in the blacks. So you'll notice all the details gone, and you've got these hard lines of, here's a dark black hard line, here's a lighter black hard line, but there's no detail. So it crushes blacks. So I'm assuming it's a compression issue on this trailer, and I'm hoping that the actual shots of all of this night stuff of their desert crossing actually probably looks beautiful. Okay, guys, so thank you so much. That is our little reaction and thoughts to the upcoming Dune trailer. I am very, very excited to watch this movie. Of course, there's mild concerns to address, but the fact that this is getting made makes me a very, very happy man. Dune is, in my book, the greatest sci-fi fiction ever written. It's like, obviously an Asimov base, but it's an Asimov beta. And yeah, we'll see how we go. Okay, you guys on YouTube, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.